Have you ever wished that you could access your important files, videos, and photos from anywhere in the world? Or maybe you're tired of relying on these external hard drives that are difficult to transport and prone to failure. I know that I've spent way too much money fixing these hard drives whenever they fail, and then having a really hard time figuring out where to effectively store them whenever they get full, because they always do. As a result, I've been looking for a more robust backup solution for a long time now, and in particular, I've been drawn to the idea of a NAS, or a network-attached storage device. In this video, I'll explain what a NAS is and 5 reasons why every photographer, videographer, or content creator should own one. In case we haven't met before, my name is Susie and I'm a freelance photographer and YouTube creator who makes videos about compact camera gear for shooting travel vlogs and videos. I do all of my photo shoots in RAW plus JPEG using full-frame Sony mirrorless cameras, and I shoot all of my videos in at least 4K 30 frames per second, but sometimes even higher resolutions than that. As a result, I typically fill up at least one of these 12 terabyte hard drives in a year. Sometimes more. You can see that this is a part 2. There was a part 1 before this. This was a really busy year apparently. I've known that I've needed a better solution for years, but I've been too intimidated to give them a try. So when Synology reached out and wanted my thoughts on their latest NAS, I jumped at the chance. They sent me over the DS923 Plus. I'll be doing a dedicated review of this particular unit in another video. But for now, we're just going to talk about what a NAS is and why you might need one. By the way, Synology is not paying me to say anything, but if you do learn something from this video and you want to support the channel, I'd appreciate it if you used my affiliate links below for your next purchase. Alright, let's jump into it. What is a NAS? You're probably familiar with the hard drives inside of your computer, or these little external hard drives. A NAS takes one or more of that type of hard drive and puts them in a separate enclosure. I love this because it keeps your drives protected from the elements and also makes it less likely that they'll get damaged. I can't tell you how many external hard drives I've accidentally dropped or knocked off my desk. The NAS then connects directly to the internet, usually via an Ethernet cable plugged into your router. You also power the NAS directly by plugging it into a wall, and then using the included software to transfer files on and off of the device. So the first big benefit of using a NAS is that you can download and upload files from anywhere on your local Wi-Fi network. And this NAS drive lets you access your data over the internet. So even if you're working from a coffee house in your neighborhood or in another state or country, you can still access it. Now, as a photographer and video creator who usually works on projects with my partner Martin, this aspect is very important because we use our own computers to edit files. And in the past, a huge bottleneck in our workflow has been trying to figure out which hard drives had our files, and then having to pass that drive back and forth. Now with our NAS, we can wirelessly access our media files. Even though we're still in the same house, like right next to each other, we can do that from the same server. Now if you're thinking, wait, this sounds like something I can do with a cloud service, like Dropbox or Google Drive or iCloud, then yes, that's true when it comes to sharing files between devices. However, NAS servers usually offer much larger storage capacities than cloud servers, and they end up being cheaper in the long run. You don't have to pay a monthly or annual subscription price. All you pay for is the upfront cost of the NAS and the disks. Another reason to use a NAS is for data redundancy. Now, if you're not already making at least 1, but ideally 2 copies of your data, then you really should. And this was a big problem with the small external hard drives that I used to use, because I'd spent a lot of time manually copying that data over to multiple hard drives. Many NAS drives come with multiple bays for multiple disks. So what you could do is set 2 of your disks to RAID 1 configuration. Now essentially this means that if one drive fails, the second one still has your data backed up. Or there are other RAID configurations that you could use. If this all sounds confusing, then don't worry, because the included software program for Synology in particular makes it much easier to understand. The fourth reason why a NAS is helpful is that when one disk gets full, you can easily take it out and store it in something like a hard case, and then replace it with a new disk. The disks themselves are more compact than these larger standard hard drives, making them much easier to store. Now, I mentioned earlier that a key benefit of a NAS is accessing media as a means of sharing and collaborating with a work partner. But you can also use a NAS more passively to stream movies, TV shows, and music to multiple machines around your house without relying on a computer to do it all. One popular way to do this is through Plex, which lets you essentially set up your own private cloud-based streaming service. So in conclusion, NAS servers are growing in popularity. I saw a poll on my Facebook account recently where one of my photographer colleagues was asking for a good hard drive recommendation, and a majority of people told him to get a Synology NAS. So that was honestly one of the reasons why I decided to go with the NAS system. If you're thinking of going with a NAS, then hopefully this video gives you the confidence to try one out, because it can be a little intimidating at first. But let me tell you, after a month of using my NAS, I can safely say that it's become the most important device that I've gotten this year, and it's really sped up my workflow. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and tell me, how do you back up your data? Are you still using hard drives like this, or have you looked into something like a NAS server? And if so, what brand are you using? As I mentioned before, I'll be doing a specific review on the exact NAS that I have, and so stay tuned for that video. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.